what the problem is. I guess we'll find out.
We will find out.
Beans, beans, the musical fruit.
When I capture for the podcast we've been doing, I have to capture it 1080p.
The hands look smooth. The panning is smooth.
Yeah, because I lowered the resolution, and now I'm not trying to gutter punch my internet into
1080p.
submission.
Streaming Tabletop Simulator at 4K HD.
I don't actually think it's my internet. I think it's just this computer can't handle that much data.
All right, 100-word summary. We finished up in Zach's butt, and then
Zaquiel, yeah.
Jeannie managed to convince him that the best way to get back at Aslan Rex is to have the thing he can't have, which is not to be here in Ravenloft. And we have an ally. I gave him the book of level 9 spells because, although like later on, I was
Jeannie
like,
is well known for her good decisions.
well, okay, so we had two choices, right? It was Zaquiel or Darkwood. And I don't know. I've heard tell from other players that Darkwood it has made bad decisions in the past.
No.
So
That doesn't sound like him.
Not him at all. Could be him.
and then we camped here for the night. Oops, and we all got blown up.
Suicide bombers just dropped 4 fireballs on us.
We didn't even get to do anything. Orson's at 1 hit point.
Well, technically he's at 15 hit points because he just got 14 more.
Okay.
Oh, is that how you don't have to take a long rest to get those?
I don't know, man.
Not be level up.
What does the book say?
I think he just has it.
I've always been not getting new resources until I take a long rest. Okay.
Oh, then yeah, he's got 1
I
hit
should
point.
have had more. I should have had more spell slots in the last dungeon.
Okay, he's got 1 hit point.
Yeah.
Way to talk him out of it, Destil.
The most important one. It's the dead of night, and you just got blown up by suicide bombers. All of which were hollering about the one true God.
All right.
We're going to have to keep an eye on our town for weird air cults.
Evie calls out for head count. Everyone okay?
Edmont drops his
Are we
invisibility.
off initiative?
Yes.
Okay.
Edmont drops his invisibility, comes back to the fire.
Ekon is going to walk over and investigate the nearest body.
And it is badly charred. It looked like the fireball that had been fired down issued forth from the inside of their body cavity.
Edmont, can you do a sweep and make sure there's no other guys around here?
As you wish.
Do they have any like spellcasting focus or holy symbol or anything on them?
No, and that strikes you as somewhat odd. But also they're very badly burned.
So Victor's investigating this guy or him. Is anything not burned, or is like the entire corpse just charred?
Looks like they weren't even carrying much of anything except the clothes they were wearing. Smoldering boots and burned up robes.
Are there any signs of like tattoos or body markings?
If there were, they'd be unrecognizable now.
Is this bright? Is this big circle bright light?
Yes, that's my recollection.
Yeah, it's a daylight spell, and then there's a 60 feet of dim light, 60-foot radius dim light outside of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna sweep through the bright light first, and then I'll cast dark vision on myself and start moving out past
Edmont,
the dim light.
Give me a perception check, please.
Need to patch Orson up.
I'm working on it. Hold on.
He only get hit by 4 fireballs. It's fine.
I do have mass heal wounds in my staff. So I'm going to just do that right now. So that's 3d8 plus 5 for everybody. Where are my 8s? There are my 8s.
I'll probably
Perception is
So everybody can get back 14 hit points just right off the cuff.
Okay, Orson's got 15 hit points again. Way to talk him back into the 15 hit points. Good job.
Perception is 7.
7?
Yeah.
Pretty sure you're alone out here. You don't see any other sign of other people up on the cliffs or amongst the trees. You easily identify the 4 spots where they emerged from the tree line above you. Those spots are still blackened and smoldering.
Hey, Ekon, can you whip out your the scrying mirror and let's scry?
Oh, I don't have any scryings left.
He can't scry.
I know. I'm making a joke. like.
No, it was really important to check on that guy today.
You still have Kristen's spell focus, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, that would be the perfect thing to use to scry him if you could actually scry him.
In the morning, right? You'll scry Kristen.
I mean, there's still that insect guy though.
I don't think the insect guy is going anywhere. Chris is
I
trying
don't
to kill
know.
us right now.
The instant you stop scrying someone 3 times a day is when they go somewhere.
I mean, I guess I can't argue with that.
You can't argue with that. What is wrong with you?
On returns, it says, I don't think there's anyone else out there. I think it was just the 4 of them. But like I said, this will be a very distressing time to be back. Probably need to beef up security back home.
We're gonna need to send word to Aylhurst to bring Lugrin home until this blows over.
Rick, is there any sign of like where these guys came from? So the guy that attacked Victor, he jumped off the cliff and blew himself up?
Yeah, Edmont was able to find the 4 locations up on the cliff faces where they attacked from. They're easy to tell because the fireballs that emanated there left fires behind. Charred stone, blackened bits of wood.
Victor will walk back to camp and say that he thinks they should track these guys down to where they came from.
We're gonna
So
need
we find our camp.
I think we're gonna need your help for that because I think these guys probably came from outside the duchy.
I do have some sendings if you guys want to send messages to people in the outlying areas before we make camp again.
Well, the first thing we need to do is grab Orson and whoever else has nature and survival and see if we can track their trails back to a camp.
Let me top Orson off. Give him more than 15 hit points.
Oh, if you give me 10 minutes, I can cast a prayer healing.
Yeah, okay. Well, if you give me 10 minutes, I can just cast Catnap. So it's like which one do you think is...
It die. Prayer healing hits everybody, so.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, I'm topped off.
I'm still real bad. I don't have a great deck save.
I never got touched.
So it's a matter of whose spell slots are more important, yours or mine, essentially.
Probably yours because you have fewer of them.
I don't know. We probably have about the same at the moment. Because you have to use all of your high-level spell slots on a scrying spell.
Yeah, that sucks.
But whatever.
I don't really know how to get around it.
We don't.
Yeah,
Just...
I'm thinking, Victor, you reach out to your Vistani contacts and find out where these guys are coming from, because they're coming from outside the duchy.
Well,
we need to track down the location inside the duchy so we have some idea of where they arrived from before we go start asking random Vistani where they are or who they are.
What time is it, Brick Road?
Dead of night. You guys hit
like
9, 10 p.m. perhaps.
Okay. Genie is going to tell. Let me cast Catnap. You send a sending to Tinny.
Sure.
And make sure that and let her know that we were, give her the lowdown essentially, like, to watch out for people screaming about air,
she needs to stay in the town for the foreseeable future until this blows over, because there's people out there looking.
Why don't I do a sending to Abernathy?
That works, yeah.
Since he's actually in charge.
Yeah.
We need strangers in town to be detained or turned away until we know what's going on. These are people who are false followers of air, essentially.
Descending function if your target is asleep.
I think you audibly hear the sending message, right?
Not if you're asleep.
Sending just casts your voice. Let me look.
The creature hears the message in its mind.
Oh, in their mind. That's up to you. I've never needed to cast something on somebody who's asleep before.
It doesn't say.
Let's see.
We need to send to Lugrin too.
I got
Because
plenty of time.
they might target him.
I do recall a lot of drama being made about people being sent sendings at all odd hours of the day
Well, this is an
in
emergency.
previous campaigns.
The time-sensitive nature of this particular situation.
No, I get it.
As far as NPCs go that Brick Road plays, Abernathy is remarkably,
Accommodating.
yeah, not belligerent.
Yeah, it's because he's not a toddler.
Well, he's also in love with one of our party members.
He also has a very good
That's-
sense of smell.
Yeah.
He gets
So what
Also,
message
his
do you
boss-
send to Abernathy using sending?
Attacked by fire cultists. Put the town on high alert. Seem to be
10.
splinter, whatever of air.
Give what's his name's name.
Oh, Chrism, yeah.
Yeah, Chrism is back or whatever.
Send a similar message to Lugrin and probably our third town, just so that they're all not caught unawares that there's freaking suicide bombers running around looking for people to kill, or anyone who's a follower of air, probably.
I think they were going after us in specific.
Well, yeah, because Kristen wants to kill us because he thinks that's what he needs to do to get back to Fernisco.
I mean, strictly speaking, that's kind of what Aslan does he not? Is that not true? Like in theory anyway, he wants to kill a lot of us to escape this place.
Well, he thinks he's being punished by air for helping us, and that by killing us, maybe air will forgive him. I assume that's his end game.
Well, if he's going after false believers, he's very likely going to kill everybody around here, not just us.
Yeah, it's.
Agreed.
I
Well,
think he probably
the worship of air actually has not worked out as we might have hoped in the village, so...
Why
Abernathy's
not?
response is to ask what you would have him do if such people show up into the town.
I mean, we have.
bar
warriors.
them from getting into the town with a lot of people. They can explode.
What? No. Send out our warriors.
There's
How do
they
we
can
how-
you can
how do we
accommodate
ident-
them, outside of the village where they're not going to explode, but we should watch them.
We need to hold them outside the village so that if they explode, the fireballs don't damage the gates.
how do we identify that one person is a member of Chrism's flock?
I mean, that's
opposed-
not. That's the problem. We're not going to be able to tell just by looking.
Yeah.
You find out it's one of them when they say for air and then explode.
Edmont, did the bodies you looked at have anything look like it might be red? Sort of red cloaks or robes or anything?
Well, you saw the lady when she was alive. Was she wearing
Yeah.
anything?
I mean, each of them
distinctive?
currently have tatters of red cloaks.
Well, there you
So
go.
anybody that has a red cloak, hold it
No,
back.
They can disguise themselves. They don't have to wear clothing that advertise who they are.
If they're fundamentalist zealots, they're most likely not afraid of advertising who they are.
Well,
They want us to know.
no. What they're going to want to do is they're going to want to sneak into the town, and you don't do that by advertising who you are.
So what would you have Abernathy do?
You need to bar all strangers from the town until the situation blows over.
I mean, not sure that's possible, but
You just want to bar them? You want to let them camp outside the gates? Like, where do you want you want them to be turned away? Do we want to hold them for questioning? My vote is anybody who comes in wearing a red cloak wheel for questioning. Everybody else we can bar.
I just think we should put the town on lockdown.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Just
Right.
like let
You can't-
people, travelers can be housed outside the town itself under watch until we get back.
Conversely, the question becomes, what do we tell the people of this?
They're terrorists
they're
who are
going-
trying to kill them. They are false followers of air. They claim to be followers of air, but they're not.
Like, do we even like bring the whole air thing into it? Just people that have been exploding.
We don't want to bring the air thing because then our villagers are going to start attacking anybody who doesn't believe in air, and it's not going to be pretty.
Anyway,
So you tell Abernathy, put Silverbow on lockdown. Nobody gets in.
And house any travelers a safe distance outside the village and keep them watched if they want to enter. Until we return.
Okay.
Then I think same rules for the other towns.
I don't know if the other towns have the manpower for that.
That's
they
probably
also
true.
don't have like really churches or anything.
Or walls.
Yeah. The one village has a Lugrin.
Yeah, Lugrin's who I'm really worried about because he's separated from the rest of us.
Lugrin's all
And
you
I'm thinking,
need.
Lugrin's gonna be fine.
I've heard that before.
Charlie.
Right. And he's fine. So what are you complaining about?
And who else do you send ascending to? Or was that it?
Abernathy, Lugrin. I don't know. Again, I mean, Lugrin specifically because he's a actual, ostensible worshiper of air and a member of our family. Not so much like I don't think there's any value to sending it to the other villages because they don't really have any presence of air.
So what do you instruct Lugrin to do?
I just tell him to
Lay low.
be alert that there are people doing this.
Lay low.
Yeah, lay low. They have that secret room in the house he's staying at.
The
If he
one
needs to, that could be a like a safe room.
Okay.
I don't know, is it more dangerous to move him or is it more dangerous to leave him alone?
For Lugrin, I have no strong opinions on what Lugrin should do. I don't know that if I were a flame cultist, I don't know that I'd be going after him specifically.
He's a member of the family.
I guess.
think
He's
Personally-
probably their highest
You-
priority.
Go ahead.
That's just you were the higher priority target.
To be honest, like I actually disagree. I think your brother is the higher priority target.
Yeah, I think they're going after Ekon.
I think this was a shot at Ekon. We just happen to be.
Well, it's all of us, but I think Ekon is who they would consider to be the most dangerous.
Because
Or the
like
most heretical.
in the village, like Evie, like we were in that village, right? Evie was wandering around too, wasn't she?
No, I didn't leave the tower.
Oh, okay. But like they were following you, the two of you. We don't know if that's
Point.
because Ekon is. It could be that just simply that the two of you were the only ones that left the tower, or it could be that Ekon is.
Could be both. It's not a zero-sum game in that situation.
Well, in
But
any
anyway,
case, we need to get back as soon as possible.
agreed.
Ekon, do you want to be bait?
That's
I don't think I have much of a choice, do I?
No. No, you don't.
I think by virtue of the fact that you already exist, that you exist as you do, brother, means that you're bait.
So do you guys complete your long rest tonight, or are you going to march home? 'Cause you were still a
How
few
far are we
days-
from Silverbow right now?
A few days. You were about halfway back.
Like we set out in the morning. There's no sense in
Yeah, I don't
us
know
being
if there's anything to be
exhausted.
gained by staying, by
We
waiting.
do.
I don't know that I want to
keep
stay
moving a
here.
lot.
You want to camp
can
up the
move
road on a
camp.
different battle map?
We could move camp, but other than that, I don't think there's much else we could do.
I still think we should have Orson tracked down where they've been staying before they came here.
We need to wait till morning for that because we're not going to find them at the dead of night.
In that case, we should find a more secure location than the middle of this road and Wait until morning. We've done what we can as far as avoiding towns.
If you're waiting here tonight, go ahead and take the benefits of the long rest.
Okay. Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
And the
What
rest of the
is
journey
horse
back
and-
is uneventful.
Uh,
Well, wait, were we going to try and have Orson trace their thing, or are we going straight back to the village?
Is there anything to trace?
There's not much, but you won't know
The
until
idea
you
was for
try.
the-
And trying
Yeah,
would take time.
I mean, I'm up for trying, but I don't know. I think those guys were just following us. I don't know that they have a base nearby. I think they were just here to kill us.
Yeah, attempting to pick up their trail and find out where they came from is not a free action and would by definition take you the opposite direction that you want to go.
yeah.
Here's suggestion as we try and find if they had any sort of camp where they came from to find out if there was any info there.
Okay, but if you attempt to find their camp, but you're probably going to lose the day, is what I'm saying.
I agree.
Pictures more.
I think the rest of the rest of you should go on ahead.
Oh, we're splitting the party?
I don't want to do that. My vote is still we go back to town, and then Victor hits up his Vistani contacts to find out where these people are coming from.
The Duchess has spoken. We return to town. Edmont starts packing up camp and start walking up the road.
I don't know that I have the latest village map. I must, because we've seen it, but I don't see it now in
I
my
can relink it if you need it.
immigrant.com. No, that wouldn't be helpful, because I'd have to reprocess it too. Yeah, because I should have one with stone walls, shouldn't I?
There is one with stone walls, yeah.
What have I done? Oh, maybe it's this. Hold on, I've got to click like 40 different things. Don't mind me. Yeah, here it is. Okay. There's still a big purple circle, but that's fine. It's just,
That can be erased.
it's just surrounding your manor, just pointing out where it is.
Target.
Arriving back at Silverbow a couple of days later, you're kind of approaching at midday, thereabouts, maybe late morning. A large column of black smoke issues forth from the village. You can tell from a distance. And as you get a little closer, a large crowd of people is massed up outside of the gates. You can hear the shouting and the cacophony of them. It looks like chaos is happening.
Evie forces her way past the crowd.
Edmont casts invisibility and hops the wall.
Victor is going to talk to the crowd to try and find out what's going on.
Edmont. Well, here, let's do this, since everybody's declaring things. Edmont, show me where you're hopping the wall.
Where's my token? There he is. Let's say here.
What are Ekon and Genie doing up on the approach?
Approaching the gate, I guess. Because I'm not hopping. No
So when
wall.
we see the smoke, where's the smoke coming from? Can we tell?
Somewhere inside of the village.
Somewhere inside the wall?
Mm-hmm. Inside the stone wall.
I think we know what it is.
I think they burnt your church down, Ekon.
Most likely.
I kind of just keep pacing, head towards the front gate.
Okay.
Most direct way to get there, right?
So Evie, Ekon, and Genie are forcing their way forward to that. And you don't really have to force your way. I mean, people see
I could just
who's
I could
coming.
just command them to stand aside.
2 wagons and their accompanying teams are massed up outside of the wall, along with a few other people. Victor, approaching the crowd, one man in particular steps forth. Very, very large and very hairy man. Large mutton chops, big beard, smells like the woods. Steps forward. Victor Veritas.
And you would be?
You are known to me. You could perhaps explain why we are being barred entry to the town? I come with urgent news from your borders.
Well, if you have urgent news, by means, speak.
I am to speak to the Duchess only. This is part of our accord with the Celtostravi. Do you not remember me?
Does Victor remember him?
Did Victor make any attempt to learn the individual members of the Celtostravi that he had met?
I mean, he seems like the kind of guy that would have done that. He probably would have failed miserably, but he would have tried.
That sounds like a no. At the mention of the Celtostravi, you can... Okay, that explains why the man is large and muscular and very hairy.
Can Victor see Evie from where he's at?
Evie and Genie and Ekon had gone on ahead of you towards the gate. Edmont vanished, as he is wont to do.
Victor will tell the man to come with him and they'll go find Evie, but first he needs to know what's going on or what happened.
Well, what happened, as far as he knows, is that he arrived at the gate with urgent news, was told from the walls that people were not being allowed into the village. The other 3 gates are barred. This is the only one that had approached. These 2 wagons were already here when he arrived yesterday.
Does he know when the black smoke started?
Very recently, within the past couple of hours.
He'll take the man and kind of move through the crowd to go find Evie.
So, Edmont, you are hopping the wall, like, right here by the main gate?
Yeah.
What's your passive perception?
Passive perception.
Let's call this
is...
take a -5 on it, because you're looking through a billow of smoke.
That's a 7.
A 7?
Yeah.
Even with a 7, you can see injured men and perhaps corpses in front of the church. The church itself is billowing black smoke. You don't see the blaze. You don't see like a large inferno. The building itself is not structurally damaged, but that won't be true for long if there's fires burning inside.
Edmont drops invisibility and hops down inside the village.
Okay. And as soon as you drop invisibility, some of Evie's guardsmen spin around at the your sudden appearance. They see who it is, and chaos. They look to you immediately for direction. They don't know what's going on. There was a large commotion at the church. They were debating, because if they abandon their posts here to go and help up at the church, then nobody's watching the gates. And they've been ordered to not let anybody in the gates.
My family's not far behind me. Send any able-bodied people you can to help rescue people.
Okay. The 2 of them rush off to see the orders done.
But don't abandon your posts. But direct anyone to help.
Well,
that
which is
help,
it? If they're going to go help people, they have to leave their post.
Okay, no, you guys stay here. Edmont will approach the church on his own.
Okay. Evie, Ekon, and Genie, as you guys get up to the gate, you expect a couple of guardsmen to be nearby to call down to you. Instead, they're inside having a conversation with Edmont. Victor comes up behind you with the hairy man.
Evie starts calling out for people to try to rescue people, get a fire line going. Ekon, do you have spells that can snuff out big fires like this?
No, not at this scale.
Well, Evie, who are you ordering to do this?
Whoever's nearby.
Nearby are very angry people with wagons loaded with goods that have been denied entry to the village.
Okay, well, they're going to have to wait. After
Upon
they get
learning that
inside.
you're the Duchess, they start unloading their complaints on you. This one group in particular, they had been commissioned to bring marble blocks for construction, and when they arrive, they're told that nobody's being admitted to the village, and there's no explanation as to why, so they demand one from you.
I gesture in the direction of the billowing smoke. Say, we're dealing with an emergency right now. You're going to have to wait.
That smoke just started an hour ago. They've been outside for 2 days.
You're just going to have to wait. And Evie goes on.
Goes on how? The gate's closed.
Oh.
Jeannie will like whistle at the man and tell him to be quiet.
Evie, I
Yes?
think papers were it. Victor
Pardon?
motion to the guy. Keltistravi.
I'll run interference with the merchants while you handle the Keltistravi guy.
Okay. What does he have to say?
Jeannie, give me a persuasion check. At disadvantage, because these people have been very put out.
Waiting for 2 days.
Evie, the Keltostravi man, takes a knee in front of you. Although he seems very, very upset. I come bearing urgent news for the Duchess.
Speak.
And he describes men and women lurking around the border, sometimes freshly out of the mists, difficult to track, and he describes them wearing red cloaks.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a more specific location?
At many places along the border.
Great. Your Duchess thanks you for your service.
Do you have any more details? Peter glances at the man.
Well,
They
they-
Keltistravi been attacked.
They haven't been attacked. And remember, their orders are to not engage with such threats. They are scouts.
Can I, if Jeannie is dealing with the people at the gate, can I actually get through and get into the city?
You can, once the guardsman comes back up to the top and is able to... They were delayed by a minute because Edmont jumped the wall. Mostly
yeah,
I'm trying to
you will
split the party, so Edmont runs into this church first and gets killed.
Well, yeah, Evie will call for the gate to be opened
Okay.
by order of the Duchess.
Jeannie, how'd that persuasion go?
15.
That was a 15?
Yeah, 15.
Okay. Do you explain why people were not admitted into the village?
Yes.
That there are religious extremists starting fires everywhere?
Yes.
Okay. The second merchant, the one whose wagon is laden down with gaudy, colorful rugs, looks to be a family enterprise, scoffs and almost chuckles to himself unkindly as he looks up at the column of smoke rising from the middle of your village. Secluding your gate doesn't seem to have worked.
Well, it apparently worked for at least 2 days.
At this point, Evie, one of the frazzled-looking guardsmen, peers over the wall to see who's hollering, sees it's Evie, and orders that the gates be open by order of the Duchess. The Keltostravi, if there's nothing else for him, is going to dismiss himself. He's going to be on his way.
I'll tell him, you know, obviously your people stay on alert. If you are attacked, defend yourselves. I'm sure they don't need that order, but they have my permission.
Edmont,
Sir.
approaching the church, there is a blackened area in front of the door. One of the doors has been damaged. You can feel the heat from inside of the room as well. Several corpses in front of the door. Some of the village guardsmen. And injured men as well. Maybe 5 or 6 in total, 3 of which are still alive. One of those is Abernathy, hunched down in front of the broken door, extremely badly burned.
Oh, no.
You can tell a fireball has just exploded right here.
Edmont tries to rouse him.
He's drifting in and out of consciousness. You can tell he's probably not in danger of immediate death. He had class levels, which means he has more hit points than these guardsmen do. But when he sees Edmont, reaches up, clasps the front of your shirt, and croaks out, and you can hear his voice is more throaty and gravelly than normal. Forgive me. Tell your brother to forgive me. I saw God.
Pop the Edmont's fishing for a potion of healing out of his pouch. Pops the cork on it, pours it down his throat.
Okay.
He says, "You saw air?"
And he takes the potion, and his breathing seems to relax a moment. Then his face slumps forward, and he drifts into unconsciousness.
Is the door blown off its hinges or anything?
It's damaged, but somebody on the inside has attempted to close it. So you can't see into the church from this position. It looks like they used a fireball to blow the doors inward and then barred them as best they could from inside once they got in. And at this point, the main gate has been opened up, and your somewhat less useful family members are filing in behind you.
Is there any exterior entrances other than the main door?
I don't believe so.
No, there would be back doors.
It's a fire hazard if you don't.
Yeah.
Edmont darts around the corner, and
Church is definitely dosha compliant.
Jeannie looks down at Abernathy.
Yeah.
Gets very angry, and she asks Victor to carry him off to the side somewhere, out from in front of the doors. And then she uses a shatter spell to blow the doors off of their hinges.
Gross.
I'm gonna cast absorb energy fire on my brother.
Evie's going to call out to the onlookers and get a fire line going from the stream to the church.
Victor will move the guy. Try to keep other people from getting too close.
Nobody's making any attempt to get close to the church at this point. There's a crowd forming up in the village, but they're keeping their distance from the carnage and the fire and the hay.
Uh-huh. Like I said, Jeannie is blowing the doors off the hinges.
Okay.
Like you said, they're currently barred, right? They're shut and closed.
Yes. They look damaged, but
Jeannie blows them off their hinges with a shatter spell.
And yeah, I'm sorry to say, but I mean, I've looked at this battle mat, and there doesn't seem to be any other entrances into this church other than the front door.
Well, shit. I would have known that I would have known that, so I would be running around for that.
Yeah, there's big windows you can break through.
That's fair, but I don't want to cause any more property damage right now.
Oh, we can fix property damage.
Yeah.
I'm not concerned about that right now.
Are these 5-foot squares?
Yes. Yeah, this is a big boy map. In fact, we can probably go ahead and... Here, let me...
Where's the person? Oh no, that's debigulate.
Yeah, you have to re-ambigulate. I might have to make a third cup of tea here in a minute. It is very, very helpful to have it on my throat. So I guess this stairwell over here goes up to your bell tower?
Mm-hmm.
Probably makes sense, yeah.
Oh, I didn't accidentally crop out. No, it's here, okay. You guys can see that Dr. Mapzo and his tentacle compass made this map.
Close enough for government work.
I would have felt like a real jerk if I'd accidentally cropped his name off the map. I've done that before.
You Dr. Mapzo.
All right.
I mean, it's okay to do it occasionally as long as you're not doing it intentionally.
How
think.
coincidental is it that Dr. Mapso just happened to create the exact battle map that we needed as
How kind of him.
as described? Opening up the doors. Inside, you can see the back of the church here, up where Ekon typically gives his sermons from when Mass is held, is set ablaze. You see a woman in red robes. You can see all 6 of these guys, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Woman in red robes facing the fire and chanting, and as she does, she stokes it, controlling it as though she is sculpting it. It is unnaturally hot. You would expect a fire of this size at this, like in a building of this nature, to set the building ablaze and then take its course. What looks like is happening is she is stoking it to contain the heat here for some reason. Throughout the room, you see 5 other men and women in red robes. Each of them are worrying at something on the floor with their hands or their boots, the tips of their staves, as the door is kicked in.
None of our people wear red robes and dress like this, right?
No, not as far as you know.
Victor. Well, let me know. We're gonna do initiative.
Are you entering the church?
Oh, no, Jeannie blew the door off the hinges and then immediately walked in the church.
Okay,
and
then
said,
yeah, we're on
and-
initiative.
Yeah, like this is Jeannie walked in here and like. There's,
So I
like, violence.
did I get that cast of resist energy off before combat?
Yeah, that's fine.
Like I would have done that as soon as we were approaching the burning building.
Yep.
Okay.
And yes, it is a fire hazard to not have a back door on this church. I don't know what you guys were thinking.
Yeah, these medieval fire codes. We're not up to code.
There is no way Ekon didn't build this to dosha requirements.
Okay, what are the dosha requirements in Silverbow? I guess
I mean, they
whatever you
definitely
said they
require
are.
a fire exit.
I need 3 more markers.
Yes, I need to know what the ignition point for wood steel is, because I have that hanging on the back wall over here is that icon I made for Ekon, but it's like
Oop.
made entirely out of wood, steel, and metal.
It will burn. It's probably slightly higher than standard wood, but
Yeah.
it is still wood. It will still burn. All right. So coming in, who's top of my order? Looks like Jeannie is at the top of the order.
Yeah, Jeannie is.
Good job, Jeannie.
She's mad.
5,
Understandably
10,
so.
15, 20. And so there's a fire right here, correct?
There's a fire up in the front of the room, up here, that this woman is stoking. Here, let me.
So it, like what I mean to say is okay. Okay, I'm going to use my action to summon my turret, I think. Well, the like, so she's standing in front of this, right?
Yeah,
So
she's standing just on your side of the large fire that she's stoking magically.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm looking at my spell list because I was expecting some kind of. I wasn't necessarily expecting combat, so my spell list is a little different.
Does that sound like a safe bet to not expect combat?
I don't know.
When something I've learned, it's always a good combat.
Well, you can't, like, there's 2 different spell lists for combat and not combat. What I do have is I need a Constitution saving throw from this lady.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Your DC is 17.
20.
Okay. Well, that's the end of Jeannie's turn then.
Got white token with red token on deck.
White token, that is ominous. And then red token.
Mm-hmm.
I think Genie's about to take a lot of fireballs.
Jeannie's fine.
Genie is not. The 5 red robe cultists trace a path around the room. Each of them moves towards the previous position of one of the other ones. And as this happens, Genie, you see... Actually, what's your passive perception? Let's make sure you can see.
11.
11? Okay.
Passive investigation is a lot higher.
No, you're not investigating this, though. You're perceiving it. Yeah, you know that you don't see, because there's so much more going on in the room that is demanding your attention. However, none of the cultists cast Fireball on you. That's nice of them.
Mm-hmm.
Who's next?
Next up, we've got Orson with orange token on deck.
Okay.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Ash, 5, 10, 15, 20. And
You're going to kill my poor cultist that did nothing wrong?
Orson doesn't have action surge. So, no.
Oh, that's too bad.
He is going to get in his way.
Like, try to prevent him from continuing moving as he was doing?
I mean, he's just kind of like generally menacing his space. Whereas if he tries to move and walks away, he's going to eat an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
That kind of situation with Orson's like plus 12 to hit.
Who's next?
Got orange token with Victor on deck.
Orange token. That seems ominous. Victor, you're up.
Okay.
Also, Victor now has somebody has an ally within 5 feet.
I do. Let's
Look
do
at
something else.
that.
$30 gets me there.
Okay.
Do I have line of sight on this red guy next to Orson?
Yeah, let's see why not.
Okay.
He's got no cover in that position. This thing about churches, they're kind of like large, open, echoey spaces.
Yeah. Well, 5 of these guys circling seems like a really bad idea. So, we will use bonus action. And we will invoke the will of the dark gods to make my point psionic damage do... Does necrotic damage sound fun?
Sounds evil.
Let's do necrotic damage.
Sounds pretty effing evil.
And then we're going to attack this poor little cultist who did nothing wrong but is standing next to Orson with a necrotic.
Literally all this guy did was walk. He walked 6 squares.
He walked menacingly.
They blew up our
burned down
church.
Nobody's
I mean,
blown up
sorry.
anything. Well,
It was pretty
Abernathy got a
blown
little
up.
blown up.
Yeah.
It was a menacing walk. Does a 20 hit?
Yes, it does.
Unnatural 20.
If only. No, it's a dirty 21, actually. Okay. That's going to be 30 2 points doubled would be 64 points of necrotic damage.
Yeah, that's enough. Is the necrosis eats the man's flesh, and he sizzles to
falls
the
off.
ground horrifyingly.
In a puddle?
Victor, moving your staying put.
I'm out of stuff. So
All right.
Got purple with Ekon on deck.
Purple token. That also seems ominous. Who's next?
Me, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Retroactively having moved diagonally to get to there. I gotta check some ranges here. Let's go ahead and cast Guiding Bolt on this one stoking the fire.
Okay.
So that's an attack roll. Hits an armor class of 19.
19 will hit.
Okay. Wait. I literally don't. I don't know. I usually keep that prepared, but I don't have it. So that's nice. Sorry, I have to retroactively ask you to make a dexterity saving throw for Sacred Flame.
Oh no. That's a bad roll. That's a 6.
Nope. So 3d8 plus 5. Sorry, I don't know why. I'm having
Didn't
a hard
have
time with the spells.
Guiding
I
bolt.
have prep today. So that'll be 17 radiant damage.
Okay. Make a concentration check. And that Sacred Flame is actually radiant damage, right? Not fire?
Yeah.
Okay. You see the woman stumble a bit as air's radiance engulfs her. As it does, you see her concentration falter, and the fire at the front of the church starts to get out of hand. You immediately, whatever magic she was using to contain it in this space as it grew ever hotter, immediately fails. You hear the glass shatter out of the back of the church, and the flames swoosh out through them. And she cries out, something to the effect of, "No, it wasn't ready. I needed another moment." Ekon, moving or staying put?
I have a bonus action.
Yep.
That was a cantrip. So as my bonus action, I am casting Sanctuary on Genie.
Okay.
And that's the end of my turn.
Genie, you feel
We've got,
sanctuaried.
Evie with Edmont on deck.
Evie, fix it.
Evie's probably not quite as mad as Jeannie right now because her boyfriend got torched, but she's pretty mad.
I mean, your village got torched.
Yeah, so she's pretty mad. Bonus action to dash.
They didn't even let your werewolf in.
50. 55. That's close enough. I'm going to throw a knife at this guy.
Okay.
I'm not going to get sneak attack, but it'll still hurt. Does a 24 hit?
Yeah, sure does.
Alright, he's going to take 8 points of magic piercing damage.
Okay. And he looks bloodied.
Not very strong. I'll actually take a step back here, and then that'll be the end of my turn.
Got Edmont with Black Token.
So this plus a dash gets me to here. Move plus dash gets me
Edmont,
Uh-oh.
Sir.
I need you to make me a dexterity. I'm sorry. A strength saving throw.
I don't know what that one die was rolling, but remember what I was saying about monks spending key points to,
I mean, you say a lot of things, my dude.
I do. That's a 6.
A 6. Edmont, nothing looks amiss to your eyes. But as you enter this square into the center of the room, it no longer feels like your footfalls are hitting the solid, very nicely decorative marble floor going up.
Black made it.
It feels like you're stepping on